What's up there, travel fam? It's your favorite cruiseologist, Sean, here, the proud owner of Travel is Sexy Travel Agency, coming to you from Boston, Massachusetts. What's up, and what's up to everybody? Listen, I wanted to shoot a quick video today and just have a simple conversation to you about travel myths. So I jotted a couple of things down. So if you see me looking down at my notes, that's just because I don't want to forget anything. All right. So let's get into it. So let's talk about cruise myths that are keeping you still at home. Listen, I hear this all the time. I hear so many reasons why people will not cruise. People ask me all the time, Sean, why do you cruise so much? What do you like about cruising? I get all these questions. And so I thought that today we would talk about some of the myths, some of the things that I hear. All right. So I'm just first we're gonna drop a few myths that I hear, and then we are actually going to talk about them. All right. So let's get into it. One of the first cruise myths that I always hear is that cruises are for old people. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Cruises are for everyone. Cruising is something that can be done what in the travel space we call multi-generational travel, where you having grandparents and the kids and the grandkids, aunts and uncles, cousins. Cruising is for everyone. You just got to know the right cruise that you're looking for, picking the right islands, all those things. But cruising is true. Cruising for old people is truly a myth. All right. So let's just knock that right out the way. Okay. One of the second myths that I always hear is that I'll get bored. Again, absolutely not. Take this from someone who has been on, and I haven't been on as many cruises as a lot of people, but I'm about to embark, I believe, on my 15th cruise. There is always something to do. And here's the thing about vacationing and cruising, you can choose to do everything that you want, or you can choose to do nothing. Some people, like myself, who have cruised before, I may go to the same islands. It could be with a different cruise line. But sometimes what I want to do is I just want to relax. I enjoy being out on the open seas, enjoying the breeze, enjoying the water, enjoying the vibes. So I don't always get off the ship when I get to those ports. But will I get bored? Absolutely not. Let's talk about some of the things that there are to do on any given cruise ship. Okay. There's always going to be entertainment. There are going to be shows galore, different shows all throughout the time of the day um, that you can catch. There's going to be comedy shows. There's going to be usually like a dueling or like a piano bar. So there's music. There's live music. There's the casino for those who like to gamble. There's trivia. Um, and the list goes on and on. I'm sure I'm missing a few things. But getting bored is not one of them. There's plenty of bars around if you like to partake in the liquid courage over there that some might enjoy. There's plenty of places to sit and relax. Plenty of places to sit, relax if you want to work or just take in the scenery, people watch. There is never a dull moment. There's always something going on at the pool. There's usually some kind of contest going on. So there's always something. They have game shows, usually Family Feud. Uh, you name it, there's something happening. All right. So, and most of those things that I just mentioned are free. There might be some exceptions, like usually there might be a bingo game, and there might be a fee for that. But mostly everything else will be free. All your trivia, all your entertainment, those things and will be included in your price. So will you get bored? Absolutely not. Even if you take children with you, there are also camps that the cruise lines have where you can normally take your kids and drop them off for the day, and they get to mix and mingle and meet other children their age, and they have activities planned for them as well. Now, I will say this in regards to that because I brought it up. There are in the evenings there are maybe a fee for that after a certain time. If you're putting the kids in camp. But other than that, getting bored, absolutely not. You like to hang out by the pools, you can do that. You want to get in the pool, you want to get in the hot tubs, you can do all those things. So getting bored is not one of them. All right. Let's see. The third one is It's expensive. Cruising is really not as expensive as people think it is. You just have to understand what's included in your price and then plan accordingly. And that's one of the things that I talk about in my book that I wrote, and I will drop the link to that in the comments of this video. But cruising can really be inexpensive because it depends on how long you're sailing, the time of year that you're sailing, how long your sailing is, and where you're going. And it doesn't have to be super expensive. We'll get into another video where we'll talk about the different cabin types and how those range in price. All right. But cruising can be very economical when you think about all the things that are included. So for the majority of cruise lines, pretty much all of them, all of your complimentary food is included. So all your food in the dining room, all your food in the buffet is included. All of your entertainment is included, and your sleep accommodations. All of those things are included. Plus, on top of that, on top of those four things, the fifth thing is that you get to go to anywhere between 3 to maybe 6 islands, depending on, again, the itinerary. There are some where you kind of import every day, and then there's some where there's a couple of sea days in between, and you might visit 3 or 4 islands. So you really get a bang for your buck because you don't have to fly to just one place. You get a chance to fly in, catch a ship, and then you get to see 3 or 4 different countries at one time. All right. So that was what number that was the third myth. The fourth myth that I always hear is I can't swim. Guess what? Neither can I. Can't swim a lick, but I'll stay on the ship. Um, if you can't swim and if that's really a big thing for you, then I suggest just take swimming lessons if it make you feel better. But I've been going on, like I said, 15 cruises. I can't swim. I will get in the pool sometimes, not all the time. I barely get in the pool a lot. I'm not even sure why I take a bather suit anymore, to be perfectly honest. But there's the pool, there's the hot tubs. I do like to get in the water when I get to, get in the ocean when I get to the ports and stuff. Sometimes at least dip my feet in the water. But those are just some of the myths that I hear when we talk about cruising and why people will not cruise. So here's a question I have for you in wrapping up this video. Which myth were you believing in? I really want to know. So drop those comments. Let me know which myth you believe in, whether it was one I mentioned or if it's something else. I would love to know. I would love to be your travel guide and help you plan your next great experience. And until then, guys, remember, travel is sexy, and I'm out. Peace.